Welcome back to reviewing an album every day. Today's album is the Days of Ash EP released by U2 today. The EP comprises of 5 songs and a poem, and serve as a sort of response to the current events in our world. But before I go any deeper, here's my track-by-track rating of each song on the album. Starting off with the first song on the album, American Obituary, which is a response to the January 7th killing of Renee Good. It also is very reminiscent of the early 2000s in All That You Can't Leave Behind and How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. Its scrappy guitar and drums really take you through a ride for the first 4 minutes of the album. Next up is The Tears of Things, which is a longer ballad, serving as a dialogue between Michelangelo and his statue David. However, it's also an allegory for the conflict between Israel and Palestine. It's also the longest song on the album, coming in at 5.5 minutes, and it takes that time to slowly build dark and brooding and very somber. The next song is much different, written as tribute to 16-year-old Serena Esmailzadeh, who was killed protesting in 2022. It's very disjointed and brings back some of the heavier elements from the first song. It's more reminiscent of the band's Songs of era. Wild Peace is a much different sound, being a minute-long spoken word poem that just carries infinite weight and features haunting electronic sounds in the background. You say you wanna save the world. One Life at a Time comes back with a bit of a broader approach. It's asking a very existential question. Does the world change, for better or for worse, with one life at a time? This song also serves as a tribute to Auda Hathalin, who was killed by an Israeli settler in his home on the West Bank. This song is the song that probably changes the least throughout the course of it, but I think that it's really grappling with that one question that I mentioned at the beginning, and so I think that's okay. Finally comes the best song on the album, Yours Eternally. You are not lost out there because you are not alone. Its radiant melodies and crisp, clear strumming serve as a backing to a story told in the form of a letter from a Ukrainian soldier. It's very beautiful and sends home the message of this EP. You're not alone. I am a fan of them. Well, the first two, not Ed Sheeran. I don't associate myself with redheads. Overall, Days of Ash does pretty much exactly what it sets out to do. U2 stated that this is definitely not where they're going as a band, and I think that's very evident since it draws heavily upon the influences of their past 20 years of making music. But even though they looked back for the music, it serves as such a time capsule of the present. Their poetry comes at a time when I think a lot of people needed it the most. Overall, Days of Ash gets a 8.6 out of 10. Thanks for watching, I'll see you tomorrow, and remember, positivity is free.